Many people think eggs are either heroes or villains in our diet. But what if the issue isn't the egg itself, but how we use it? And today we're diving into one of the most misunderstood foods on the plate, eggs. We'll reveal 7 common mistakes people over 60 make when it comes to eggs, and how those small missteps can quietly drain your energy, fuel inflammation, and chip away at your strength over time. According to research from the National Institutes of Health, more than 70% of adults over 60 aren't getting the protein they need, and many are falling short on nutrients like choline, lutein, and vitamin B12, all of which are found in eggs. But outdated fears about cholesterol and fat or poor cooking habits still keep many older adults from enjoying this powerful food. And the result? Misdiagnosed fatigue, preventable memory decline, weakening muscles that didn't have to weaken. Joining me today is someone who has witnessed this confusion firsthand for more than a century. Dr. Shigeki Hinohara, now over 100 years old, has treated patients across continents, cultures, and changing science. He's seen foods like eggs rise and fall in public opinion, and today he's here to clear up the confusion once and for all. Thank you, John. He says, it's always a privilege to be part of these conversations, especially when it comes to topics that have been quietly misunderstood for decades. So let me ask you this. How many people fear what an egg might do to their heart without ever considering what it could be doing for their brain? That's the real issue. We've been told one side of the story for too long, and we want to hear from you. Have you ever been told to avoid eggs? Or notice you feel off after eating them, but didn't know why? Of course, this may vary from country to country, but that's why we're here. Because it's rarely the egg that causes harm. It's how we treat it, the oil we fry it in, the foods we pile around it, how long we overcook it, the key nutrients we forget to add to the plate. These aren't just kitchen quirks. They're metabolic choices. And over time, they can shape everything from your digestion to your memory. So in this episode, we'll walk you through the 7 most common egg mistakes I see older adults making, and more importantly, how to fix them. We're going to break down exactly what's happening inside your body, how to recognize if it's affecting you, and which small shifts can make the biggest difference. Some of these changes are so simple, you could try them tomorrow morning. Others might completely reshape how you think about food. But each one has the power to boost your energy, protect your heart, and sharpen your memory without cutting eggs out of your life. Because here's the truth. The symptoms are real, but if we blame the wrong thing, we chase the wrong fix. And that's exactly the point. The goal isn't to avoid eggs. It's to understand how to make them work for you. We'll walk through the 7 most common mistakes, step by step. And by the end of this episode, you'll know how to cook, combine, and enjoy eggs in ways that support your brain, your body, and your arteries, rather than quietly work against them. What you just said reminds me of a patient I met recently, Mary, a retired school teacher. She was sharp, kind, and proudly independent. For 20 years, she made the same breakfast every morning. 2 scrambled eggs, margarine, and a slice of toast. No processed meat, no sugar. She truly believed she was eating clean. But then she started noticing joint pain, brain fog, and this deep fatigue she couldn't explain. Her lab tests were normal. Her vitals were fine. On paper, nothing was wrong. But during our conversation, it clicked. The issue wasn't the eggs. It was the oil she was cooking them in. And that's more common than you'd think. We blame age, but often it's the environment around the food, not the food itself, that's causing harm. So let's begin with the first mistake. Cooking eggs in the wrong kind of oil. Why does that matter, especially after 60? Because as we get older, our bodies become more sensitive to inflammation. And oils like vegetable oil, soybean oil, or corn oil, which are high in omega-6 fats, tip the balance. They quietly spark inflammation in your joints, blood vessels, and brain. You may not notice it at first, but over time, that inflammation shows up as stiffness, fatigue, or mental fog that no test can easily explain. And the irony? Many older adults reach for those oils because they were told for years that butter was dangerous. But what truly matters isn't whether it's plant-based or not. It's whether the fat is stable, unprocessed, and balanced. Think extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, or even a small amount of grass-fed ghee. These fats are far better tolerated by aging cells, and they don't ignite the same kind of chronic inflammation, because fat isn't the enemy. Fat sends messages to the body. It tells the body to either heal or to inflame. And after 60, those messages matter more than ever. You're right. I see it all the time. Patients try to eat light by using spray oils or margarine, thinking they're making a healthy choice. But instead, they end up with more inflammation and less energy. They're not doing anything extreme. They're just following old advice. And it's not about blame. It's about giving them better tools, updated tools, so their meals work with them again. Now that we've covered the oil, let's look at what's often next on the plate. Bacon, sausage, or ham. Is that the next red flag? Yes, absolutely. And it's a tough one, because for many, those foods are tied to tradition and comfort. Eggs with bacon or sausage feels normal, even nostalgic. But processed meats, especially when eaten regularly, bring their own set of problems. Most people don't realize this, but processed meats like sausages or bacon are loaded with preservatives, salt, and compounds like nitrates. These ingredients can increase inflammation and stress on your blood vessels, especially in older adults. And when your gut or arteries are already more sensitive due to age, adding these to your plate is like tossing gasoline onto a quiet fire. The meal might taste good in the moment, but later you may feel bloated, stiff, or even notice a spike in your blood pressure. There's another layer most folks overlook: nutrient interference. The same preservatives that irritate your body can actually block the absorption of key nutrients. Yes, even the ones eggs are supposed to give you. I've had patients tell me, "But I eat eggs to stay healthy." And they mean well. But when they keep pairing those eggs with processed meats, it's like planting something good in toxic soil. The effort is there, but the results get sabotaged. So it raises a bigger question. Maybe it's not just about the processed meat. Maybe the real issue is the routine itself. That's something we're thinking about, because routines can help us, but they can also quietly limit us. When we eat the same breakfast every single day, even something considered healthy like eggs, we risk creating nutritional gaps. The body thrives on variety, not just for different vitamins and minerals, but to keep your digestion, metabolism, and immune system flexible and alert. Over time, that lack of change can slowly deplete essential nutrients or flood your system with too much of the same one. One of the clearest signs? Low fiber. Eggs have zero fiber. So if you're always pairing them with white toast or nothing else, you could run into constipation, low energy, or higher cholesterol. A 2019 study in the Japanese journal Geriatrics found that older adults with diets low in fiber and low in variety were more likely to struggle with constipation and cholesterol issues, even if they were eating enough calories. That's a wake-up call. I've worked with seniors who stick to what they believe is a healthy breakfast every morning: scrambled eggs on toast. But after a year, their lab results start shifting. B12 drops, folate dips, and they're left wondering, why didn't the eggs help? The truth? The eggs weren't the problem. The lack of diversity was. So, what does the body actually need more of? And how do we add it without making things complicated? Think in colors and textures. Add berries for antioxidants. Toss in sautéed spinach or kale for fiber. A spoonful of flaxseed or chia can bring healthy fats to the table. These are small additions, but they help eggs do their job better. Your body feels a difference, even if you don't notice it right away. One of my patients added just half an avocado and some spinach to her eggs a few times a week, and within a month, her digestion and energy both improved. The real secret is rotation. One day, make a veggie omelet. Another day, try soft-boiled eggs with yogurt and fruit. Keep eggs as your base, but swap out what's around them. That's where the transformation begins. It's easy to think consistency equals health. But when it comes to food, real balance comes from variety, not repetition. And the more you vary what's on your plate, the easier it becomes to naturally crowd out the things that don't serve your body: white toast, high sodium, and empty calories. That brings up something almost no one considers: how we store our eggs. Yes, even that matters. Eggs are porous. That means they can absorb odors, moisture, even bacteria from the air around them. If they're kept on the fridge door or left on the counter too long, temperature changes increase the risk of contamination. And for older adults with weaker immune systems, that kind of risk is more serious than people think. The safest place for eggs? The coldest part of the fridge, not the door, and always in the original carton. That packaging helps protect them from both damage and exposure to other foods. It's a small adjustment that can make a big difference. And speaking of the kitchen, there's one more way people unknowingly sabotage their healthy eggs: how they cook them. After age 60, the way we cook our food becomes even more important. High heat changes the structure of eggs. When you overcook them, when the edges start browning or the yolk goes hard, you're not just changing the texture, you're destroying delicate nutrients like choline and potentially creating oxidized cholesterol, which the body doesn't process efficiently. This kind of damage builds up quietly over time. You might think your breakfast is healthy, but if you're frying eggs on high heat every morning, you could be feeding inflammation or irritating your digestive system without realizing it. The solution? Gentle cooking. Lower heat helps preserve the nutrients your body actually needs, so you get all the benefits without the hidden drawbacks. Scrambling eggs gently or poaching them softly isn't just about taste. It's about protecting your health. These lower heat methods are easier on digestion and preserve important nutrients that support your brain and liver. In fact, a 2019 study from the Journal of Food Science showed that cooking eggs at high temperatures can drastically reduce choline and lutein, two nutrients essential for memory, focus, and liver function, especially as we age. That's powerful, and it really shifts the conversation. It's not just what you eat, it's how you prepare it. That explains why two people can eat the same thing, yet feel completely different afterwards. The small details matter more as our bodies become more sensitive over time. But let's talk about the elephant in the room: cholesterol. That might be the most misunderstood part of all. Are people still avoiding eggs out of fear? Unfortunately, yes. Cholesterol has been misunderstood for decades. People were told that eating eggs would clog their arteries. But for most people, dietary cholesterol has little impact on blood cholesterol. What really matters is the bigger picture: your genetics, your habits, and what you're pairing with those eggs. Still, the fear lingers. I meet patients who eat only egg whites, thinking they're making a heart-healthy choice. But by tossing the yolk, they're missing out on some of the egg's most powerful nutrients, like choline, lutein, and vitamin K2. These are found only in the yolk. That's where the real brain and eye benefits live. Cutting it out is like throwing away the best part of the meal. So maybe instead of fearing cholesterol, the better question is, how can we enhance what eggs are already giving us? And what if someone can't tolerate eggs or simply doesn't enjoy them? Is there a substitute that delivers the same kind of nutrition without straining the body? Yes. One of the best alternatives, especially for older adults, is grass-fed beef liver. It's loaded with highly absorbable nutrients: B12, vitamin A, iron, zinc, and yes, even choline. Most people think of choline as an egg nutrient, but liver has even more. For those who have trouble digesting eggs, liver can be gentler if prepared properly and eaten in small portions. Now, I know liver isn't exactly a popular food these days, but nutritionally it's a powerhouse. In many cases, it offers more support for energy and muscle repair than eggs do. It also contains more usable leucine, a key amino acid that helps preserve and rebuild muscle as we age. That makes it especially valuable in preventing the slow, silent muscle loss many people just chalk up to getting old. That's such an important distinction. I've had patients tell me, I'm just getting weaker because I'm older, but often the real issue is not enough high-quality protein, or not eating it early enough in the day. We don't need extreme diets. We need smarter meals, built to support the body where it is. So let's talk timing. Especially after 60, how should seniors be thinking about breakfast? Breakfast is foundational. It sets the tone for everything that follows. Prioritizing protein in the morning helps stabilize blood sugar, protect your muscles, and keep your mind sharp. It's not about eating more food. It's about eating the right food first. That's something I really hope people take to heart. Too many older adults start the day with just coffee and carbs, then wonder why they're tired by mid-morning. But when we shift that morning routine to include protein and real nourishment, we give the body a solid head start. Before we wrap up, Can you leave us with one final takeaway? Absolutely. Fuel your body in the morning the way you want to feel for the rest of the day. That one habit can change your strength, your focus, and your future. Well said. That's the kind of clarity we aim to offer in every episode. If today's message helped you see eggs or breakfast routines in a new light, share with someone you care about.